now, Elder Ted Kelly. Thank you. And a big thank you, Chimigwich, to Knowledge Keepers, co-chairs, Dr. Gwendolyn Point and Chuck Hume. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Miigwech to the chiefs, to the people of Anishinaabe of this territory. And that's one of the things I wanted to address there from the floor, but they wanted me to be up here. So anyway, the point I wanted to make is that the talk about changing this kind of a procedure on elections, and I would suggest to you, without any acrimony in my comments, without any negativity, but rather trying to propose some amicable way of resolving this particular horrendous election process that we usually go through. I've been involved in this now for something like over 50 years or so, and I know, aside from my telling you how old I am, I wanted to give you some insights, and this is not a resolution, but rather a recommendation. I think I carry a pipe that was used in 1701 when 42 nations, actual nations, not First Nations as Indianat communities, but actual nations that came from the southwest, northwest, and northeast and southeast of Turtle Island, and the land of two mountains, as they now called Montreal and Oka. And that was the great peace that was signed, and one of those pipes that was used at that time is the one that I carry. I have the honor of carrying that. So in that regard, they did not need any corporate bylaws to run their meetings, as I'm sure that you do not need them. Talk about going back to some kind of traditions that you have, my suggestion would be, and I won't go on and on about this, but rather the process is that you have to, I believe, if you're meeting here in the Algonquin Anishinaabe territory, then you would probably have your election procedures with your executive agreeing that the processes that are used by Anishinaabe in this territory would prevail, to the extent that there is harmony from other nations that do that. You go to British Columbia, you use their procedures, not Canada's corporatization. Say, and so that's what I'm suggesting. You want to go back to your treaties, you want to go back to who you are and put some order. It's really a call to order is really what I'm talking about. So that if you might want to consider that as a way of eliminating this procedure. And on that note, the traditional view of leadership in each one of our nations. You want to go back to your nationhood, the way you do it originally in your nations. I want you to know that from my experience, I have learned that there's a different definition and a different way of recognizing and acknowledging and respecting leadership from the traditional point of view. And that is a leader is not respected because they are leaders. They are leaders because they are respected. And I think that's what we have to revert to. And so, by having done that, and then when that leader steps forward or is appointed, not through the election procedures, but rather the appointment by consensus. How do you arrive at that consensus? So I'm just talking to you in general terms here, and that means that we are practicing what we're talking about. What do we mean by unity when we talk about in our terms? The English terminology is unity. We all come together as if we're assimilating ourselves into one complete way of doing things that we're not. We have distinct, unique cultures and ways of doing things, and so we have to come to respect that. However, there is one principle that I was given to by the spiritual leaders of my elders in my nation, and by my ceremonies that I've been doing to bring me that conviction. We are a family of nations. What does that mean in my language, in Anishinaabe language? The word is Ninguto'ote. That's the word, and that means hearts embedded in one heart. So that's what we are when we talk about being a family. All of our hearts are coming embedded in one, even though our spheres are independent, autonomous, and we speak, because the Creator gave us life, reason, will, freedom, the body, mind, heart, and spirit, and those are the ones that we bring on behalf of our people. So that's what I wanted to make mention of. The other thing, so I wanted to mention that part, that the leader that you have just appointed and confirmed is in our traditions, and I'm sure in your traditions, a leader is not an appointed supreme leader. All leaders are equal, and they are, but a leader that you so appoint to be the spokesperson or the spokeswoman is one that you confirm to be the first among equals, but not a supreme being. So we remember that in our values and our way of leadership. Those I wanted to thank you very much for the chairs to give me the opportunity of reminding you of these things. And those are the spheres that I think ought to go a long ways in eliminating this kind of a divisive procedure that we go through elections by adhering to corporate bylaws. The National Indian Brotherhood is a corporate body, but we are not, but the Assembly is not run by the National Indian Brotherhood as a corporate body. It's run by you as the individual people representing your individual communities and nations. Miigwech.
Miigwech. Ted Kelly, miigwech.